still watching the Afia morning show, reaching you live from Enugu this Thursday morning. My name is Natalie and OG is here. OG, good morning.
Hi, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Happy Thursday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Stop saying that. I'm so done. Look, we've talked about this
we're
over
done
and
with
over
that. I
and
just
over
wanted to say
again.
something that is very salient,
What
right?
do you want to
Because the
say? That
shocker
is,
yesterday.
when you start a conversation with Happy Thursday, there's nothing more important that can come out of your mouth. Like once you just start with, "Hey, Happy Thursday," I don't expect anything else. Honestly, my expectations are so low at this point.
I love the fact that I got you.
But because I'm muting the wickedness inside me today, go ahead.
I don't know if you're wickedness.
Go on. I'm listening to you.
Well, the shocker, Atiku Abubakar for the third time is leaving PDP.
I know.
Yeah.
Is that what you wanted to say?
Well, like it's not like it wasn't expected, by the way, but for the third time.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to. I'm trying to let you engage me. Sorry, but you're keeping me on Milliken Hill.
Maybe Ikenga would engage you because at this point, after you said Happy Thursday, you lost me. You lost me at happy.
But it's a happy Thursday. Are you not happy? You're smiling.
Well, I think I can.
You slept,
I can refer to it as a happy Thursday because I almost lost my life this morning, and I would have died and hopefully gone to heaven. And I would have been explaining to my cohorts there that I was killed by a chicken.
Huh?
Yes.
What happened?
It was quite interesting coming down to the show. And when I saw the chicken during the morning show advert right before we came back, I kind of remembered. It's now become traumatic to see that hen. That, crowing there, because I was driving down to work and just on that road, just around, I don't want to advertise any company, but I was just basically on my street more or less and trying to drive out. So I got onto the main road and it's just along that government house axis where you now go down to Bisala Road.
Yeah.
And suddenly 3 chickens rushed onto the road, and there were 2 chickens and I think 1 hen. I don't know where they came from, but there was a man standing there. I assumed they belonged to him. So if I had been speeding for some reason, I wouldn't have been able to, because as soon as I saw the chicken, I had to either save or climb the chicken and survive, or sway and risk my life and let the chicken live. So I chose to swerve. And then there was a tricycle that was just looking at what was happening in the drama. And I noticed he just stopped and he just looked like this to see what this woman would do about this. And I saw the chicken and I just imagined blood splattering dead chicken. And I said, not this morning. I swerved a little bit. And the chicken was like trying to get me killed, because he or she, I don't know the gender of the chicken, continued to. Yeah,
they were confused.
It was confused. So it was just like, we'll go left, we'll go right. I'm like, okay, worst case, it would go under my car. So when I swerved, I noticed it ran in the other direction, and I just went by. And I noticed that there's this feeling when you're about to lose your life. It just grips you, like your attention is 100%, your adrenaline is 100%. And I'm sure the tricyclist that parked was waiting for more drama.
Yeah.
But I was not going to give it to him that morning.
Even lucky they weren't recording. That's the new trend. Like, you see things happening, next thing you're flipping your phone, trying to capture the moment.
It was at this point in time, people do that a lot. That was not going to be the case, because I didn't even know. And it reminded me of one time that Favor told us this story of when she was coming to work and she almost had an accident because of some cows that just came out of nowhere. This time chickens came out of nowhere. You see, it sounds funny now, killed by a chicken, but at the end of the day, why would you let your chickens come out in the middle of the main road on a Thursday morning?
The G that was standing there, that he's the owner of those?
I don't know. Like, at this point in time, I just know that at that point.
Or they were just making their way to
where?
Look for
Happy
food.
Thursday.
To look for food.
And Happy Thursday.
Now you see the reason why Thursday is happy this early morning. Yeah.
Because that was a close call. That was a close call. It was
Sorry
either
about
the
that,
chicken
Sorry about the incident.
It was either the chicken or So it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting.
Sorry about the incident.
Yes, at least we're here. Maybe that's why I can even accept this Happy Thursday this morning.
So, well, let me just kill this.
All right, let's take a look at other news. Oji has already given us some kind of tip, so we know that somehow Atiku, PDP, and the cohorts who are making the headlines this morning. So let's delve right into them. And right after we read the headlines, we'll be joined by Dr. Ambrose Igboke that will be giving us his commentary, his opinions on the different stories. We'll begin with the Daily Times. And the top story here, Buhari's death, major loss to Nigeria, Africa. This is according to VP Shetima. Atiku resigns from PDP. Your exit won't affect party. This is according to Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde. Buhari's exit, politicians must be humble, fulfill election promises. Lukman speaks. 151 senior police officers face disciplinary action over misconduct. I'm moving on straight to The Guardian. Ayoku Obasanjo defer on new constitution. Alleged 6.9 billion naira fraud. Court acquits discharges Fayose of money laundering. Plateau urges calm as Riom attack, death toll rises to 32. Party leaders unfazed as Atiku dumps PDP the third time. Oshun residents raise concern over Adeleke Aregbesola face-off. Federal government blames rising cases of cardiovascular diseases on high sodium intake. Huriwa, DSS ex-director, dismissed Turkish envoy's alarm as political. Straight to The Nation. Why Southwest should endorse Tinubu for second term now, by Kayode Ojo. Knocks for ex-VP Atiku after dumping PDP for third time. I left because of irreconcilable differences. Exit is of no effect, says Makinde. Another one here, Obasanjo Ayoku defer on need for new constitution. Otudeko exits first holdco in 323 billion naira deal. Prayers for Buhari in Daura, Abuja. FEX extraordinary session for council chambers. I'm moving on straight to The Punch. 2027 tensions. Buhari's CPC bloc may dump APC. Some CPC chieftains likely to quit, but APC remains unshaken. This is according to Shitu. Shetima Atiku Obi attend Buhari's Fidao in Daura. Insurgency, NAF to acquire 49 new fighter jets. 151 top police officers under investigation, says NPF. Fayose weeps as court clears ex-governor of 6.9 billion naira fraud. 2027 Atiku's PDP exit sparks political firestorm. JAMB uncovers 9,460 illegal admissions in 20 tertiary institutions. Obasanjo Ayoku push for better leadership, new constitution. CBN injects $4.1 billion to defend Naira as reserves decline. On Nigerian News Direct, rather bold story here. APC Governor Makinde mock Atiku over resignation from PDP as ex-VP cites PDP's lost direction as reason for exit. Inflation rate dips further to 22.22%, is according to the MBS. Lagos reinstates psychiatric tests for traffic offenders, launches 20-year road safety plan. Access Holdings positioned for increased profitability efficiency, CEO assures shareholders. Wema Bond embarks on 9 billion naira redevelopment of Awolowo House set to power Lagos innovation. Nigeria exceeds OPEC quota, hits 1.69 million production in June. And I think that's all we'll take on this newspaper. Oji, go ahead.
Okay, Salient Times. For the third time, Atiku dumps PDP. Why I resigned. Attributed to Atiku's obsession with presidential ambition knows no sympathy. Attributed to Keyamo. Alleged 6.9 billion naira fraud. EFCC to appeal court's acquittal of Fayose. How officers rejected 1.5 million naira bribe to free kidnapped suspects, says police. Why I didn't attend Buhari's burial, attributed to Peter Obi. Nigeria's local content reforms spark mining boom, set model for Africa. FG warns of imminent flooding in 11 states as heavy rains loom. Boy, 6 roaming hospital's maternity ward kills newborn baby girl. Lastly, on Salient Times, inflation slows to 22.22% for third consecutive month ahead of MPC's rates decision. Daily Trust. Makinde Kiyamo orders react as Atiku quits PDP again. Experts link FX stability seasonal farming to inflation drop. Abducted Niger woman returned with pregnancies, babies. Alleged 6.9 billion naira fraud. EFCC appeals Fayoshe's acquittal. 151 police officers before disciplinary panel over ethical violation orders. 34 sacked in 2 years. Moving over to New Telegraph. Nigeria's problem is leadership, not constitution, says Obasanjo. Atiku resigns from PDP, cites irreconcilable differences. 2027 PDP won't miss ex-VP, says Makinde. NIS launches digital platform for expatriate residence application process. Court clears Fayose for fraud charge. Israel bombs Syria army headquarters after warning Damascus to leave Druze alone. Significant drop in price of food cuts inflation to 22.2%. Flooding. FG issues warning as heavy rainfall threatens 11 states. NIMET SEDC to partner on climate disaster preparedness in Southeast. Tinubu chairs special FEC in Buhari'S honor today. Turkey warns of Fetullah terrorist group in Nigeria. Police, how officers rejected 1.5 million naira bribe to free kidnap suspect. Moving over to Daily Global. Makinde blasts Atiku. It's better for anyone holding PDP down to quit. Tinubu to lead special FEC session in Buhari'S honor today. We are yet to receive formal communication from UAE on revised visa policy, says FG. Peter Obi visit Daura to condole with Buhari'S family. Natasha sets July 22 for Senate return. Insecurity. Over 20 suspects arrested in Edo. Lastly, on Daily Global, our job is half done with Nigerians suffering, says ADC. Daily Sun. Calls for new constitution reverberates yet again. Ayoko Tambowa, Daniel Obi of Onitsha. Ata orders make case call for urgent overhaul. Operators, nation's problem, says Obasanjo. Shetima Atiku Obi orders attend prayer session for Buhari in Daura. Final rights hold today. PDP, Atiku's exit means nothing, says Makinde. Nigeria's oil production rises above OPEC quota. Alleged 6.9 billion naira fraud. EFCC to appeal Fayoshe's acquittal. Court orders final forfeiture of 335 million naira hospital 5 filling station orders to FG. UBA's Leo becomes Africa's first chatbot for cross-border transfers. And lastly, right here on Daily Sun, why I can't forget Buhari, ex-EFCC boss, Farida Waziri.
All right, thank you, Audrey, for those headlines. We're on a quick break now. When the morning show returns, we'll be joined by Dr. Ambrose Igboke, Chairman, Guild of Public Affairs Analysts of Nigeria, Enugu State chapter, as we receive his candid views on some of these stories. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're still watching the Afia Morning Show live from Enugu, and of course, we're joined now by Dr. Ambrose Igboke, Chairman, Guild of Public Affairs Analysts of Nigeria, Enugu State chapter. He's also, well, as person off camera, possibly a security expert and a global affairs analyst. Dr. Ambrose, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, good morning. This TV station, I give it titles.
Good morning and welcome. Yeah.
Welcome.
Good morning.
Welcome. So let's head straight into the headlines, because I'm sure lots of people want to know what you think about them. Start with Salient Times. For the third time, Atiku dumps PDP. He explained why he resigned, citing irreconcilable differences. We're seeing the Oyo State governor giving him a thumbs down for it, talking about the timing of it during the 7-day mourning period for late President Buhari. We're seeing him resigning, despite the fact that he said that political activities at his own party for 2027 ADC had been halted. That was released in a statement, but he still took that very political decision at the same time to resign from PDP. What is really going on with former BP Atiku Abubakar?
Well, I think for the first time, Atiku Abubakar has a valid reason to leave the PDP. The first times, first and second time, we may say, okay, there was a lot of issues and he had to leave, because especially when it was the turn of the South, which is also did in 2023. You know, we have a gentleman agreement. When it is North, you don't come out from the South. If you are South, you don't come out from the North. So in those days, it didn't favor him. But when it was the North, it favored him because he squared up in another party. I don't know what about those time, you know, when the Buhari was in ACN and all those things. But this time around, it is valid because there are serious irreconcilable differences in the PDP, which the national chairman and his people have refused to attend to. So you cannot blame anybody, especially the issues of this Southeast caucus has lingered for a very, very long time. The issue of that before now, the 2023 issue of not ceding the presidential candidate to the Southeast was also a big issue, you know, that made him even throw his hat on in the ring and all those things. And then this issue of not even trying to obey or trying to, you know, adopt the stand of a caucus, which is the practice and convention of PDP, has set a lot of things, and then PDP is on a roller coaster to implosion. So I don't know whether it's deliberate or whether some external forces are trying to kill it. If that is the reason why the national channel is doing what it is, then it's succeeding because PDP is dying. I was listening to a video where the PDP chairman in Enugu State were asking ICU, whether the PDP was in the ICU. I said it's in the ICU, but he said that sometimes people go to the ICU and come out. But I said that that is if the person receives adequate attention. But as it is now, somebody is in the ICU is not even receiving any attention. So that means he was deliberately wants to bury the part, and that is what is happening. So nobody wants a sinking ship. Nobody wants to stay in a disaster, and that is why people. I mean, 2027 is very close by. Politicians know that there's no time. It is the masses think that there's time. By the ending of this year, a lot of conventions, party conventions will be done. By this time next year, primaries would have been done. So there's no time for them. So people cannot just sit around and hang around and wait for people to destroy their political future.
Well, it seems like ADC is gaining momentum because, you know, there are rumors too that CPC Bloc, you know, CPC now Buhari'S dead, right? So they would want to apparently seem like that mouth they had in that party, you know, APC, you know, probably the person they looked up to is no more there. So there are rumors that they're going to be moving, you know, to ADC, and that brings me to PDP too, sinking as you stated, and Makinde saying that whoever is going to be holding this party down should quit. Do you even see PDP surviving the tsunami that is still coming, or that is, you know, sweeping away some of its big wigs from that party, that they could survive these come 2027?
Well, for you to survive, if you are dying, you must make efforts to survive. Let's say if you are drowning, if there are people stretching down their hands to pick you up when you are drowning, you should also stretch up your hands so that you can catch that. Yes. But if somebody is trying to rescue you, and you are not even trying to raise up your hand or trying to be, you know, to be rescued, then you will be swept away by the tides. The way PDP is behaving right now, they are not showing any signs. But if they reverse their attitude, and so, for example, call the Southeast Caucus to a meeting and say, okay, this Iwuanyanwu debacle, can we see how you know we can resolve this, and then maybe probably adopt the stand of the you know, the Southeast Caucus, because by the way the convention is coming very soon, and then so why don't you even ask the acting person to continue? So they are not even making an effort to reconcile with the Southeast Caucus, and that is a big problem. So if they are not doing that, and they are not even, the Osun State man is almost in APC, the governor of Osun State, you are losing all your this thing. If governor of Osun State moves, that means you have lost 3 governors within 4 months. So that means that there's no rescue. So unless they try to reverse those things, there's going to be problem. They lost Akwa Ibom, they lost Delta. They are not losing Osun, very closely Osun. Even Makinde that is talking now, if the boat finally capsize, it will jump. It will move, because you cannot stay, if a ship sinks, you cannot stay with the ship on the water. You have to move. Otherwise, as the ship is destroyed, it destroys you with it. So,
is a CPC block that crack that everybody is expecting to crack the walls of the APC? If they eventually move out of the APC, that CPC block, would that be that crack everybody been waiting for to, shake the APC?
Yeah, the APC have been too comfortable since 2015. They have fallen into the same conducive illusion
of PDP of the yesteryears.
When the former National Secretary said that they were going to rule Nigeria for 60 years. And so they have found that comfortability of megalomania, where you think that nothing can touch me. And so it's an illusion. The APC has fallen into that. And then they think they are so powerful because they have ruled for 8 years, 10 years now. So when this kind of thing happens, if CPC actually moves, then it will be a big thing for political re-engineering come 2027. Because if CPC moves to ADC, and depending on the how they're able to persuade Rabi Kwakwanso to move with his Kwakwansia movement, so anywhere, if CPC moves to ADC and Kwakwansia movement moves to ADC, and then some of these governors also want to move, there will be a problem. There are also rumors on grapevine that some APC governors also want to move to ADC.
Yeah.
If governors from APC moves to ADC, Kwakwansia movement moves to ADC, and CPC moves to ADC, then we have a very interesting...
Is the soul of 2027 presidential election Kwankwaso? Because it seems like in a conversation, every conversation right now, APC, trying to drag him to APC, ADC trying to drag him to ADC. Is the soul of that presidential election going to be all bordered around or built around Kwankwaso and the Kwankwasia?
Well, Kwankwaso and the Kwankwasia movement are very strong factors in Nigerian politics. Since he emerged, he has never, he has been there. Give it to the man. But he cannot be the sole factor, but it's a very strong factor. In 2023, we know that there were all kinds of maneuvers to get him to be vice presidential candidate to P2B, so they can run under one ticket in Labour Party there. But I think the thing fell flat. If he had agreed, perhaps we'll be saying something else now, because there was nothing that would stop them from winning. But because he didn't agree, there's, the NNGP, the PDP, the Labour Party splits the opposition votes into 3. So the current incumbent president only scored 34% of the votes.
Yeah.
So imagine they had been together, at least they would have snatched nothing less than 50% of the votes. So that is the calculation. So the permutations are now ongoing too, that if, remember that the highest population for election votes in Nigeria is always Lagos, Kano, and
Rivers State, yeah.
So when you have those 3 like that, then the APC has got Rivers through their man, former governor. The APC has Lagos, and the APC is struggling for the soul of Kano. So the AC knows that APC secures this 3 and makes some other inroads to some other places. They are comfortable. It's a smooth sail for them. But if they don't get Kwakwasia movement, and some governors actually leave, it's going to be a problem. And then CPC block leaves, it's going to be a very serious problem.
All right, so still staying with the whole politics concerning Atiku Abubakar, is it as much of a PDP problem now as an Atiku habit? Because as Silent Times quoted, it's not his first time just turning away. He has done it consistently every time he wants that party that will push him to power, because nobody wants to be the leader of opposition. Everybody that assumes membership of a party wants that party to propel him or her to whatever role he or she aspires to attain. So you are seeing Atiku, he once joined AC, the Action Congress, when he wanted to, assume a political position. Then he transitioned to APC. Now he's transitioning again to the ADC. So is it as much of PDP right now, in as much as we are aware of their problems, or is it, I don't want to say it this way, but I just have to, desperation for power?
Well, you can identify his former moves as maybe quests. Let me call it quest for power, because he has the constitutional right to run as many times. I mean, the Buhari we are talking today, you know how many times he ran before, and he ran in different parties too. He ran with APP, then later they met with some elements, they became ANPP. Later he went into, formed his own party, CPC. Then he went into Alliance and APC. So 3 political parties, or let's call it even 4. So you could see that, will you call it desperation? No, finally he got it. The same thing with, the only man I know that have been in opposition for a very long time is the current president, who refused all overtures and has been in opposition since 1999, till finally they did that fusion in 2013, and they were able to win in 2015. So that is the only governor I will have said that has remained in opposition. The others, even in ADC, have moved. Peter Obi, for example, has moved from Afia to PDP to Labour. Now, if you just say ADC, that's the fourth time, fourth party. So they're all in the same mix.
Because everybody is just looking for what will be beneficial to them.
Because in Nigeria, we don't have party ideology yet. The parties are not strong like what we have. Like even in the US, there are so many other parties apart from Republican and Democrat.
Is it as much as of not having a political ideology? I mean, parties have their handbooks, right? Is it as much of not having a political ideology as much as it is taking, implementing, and let's say executing what the party says is its ideology? Is it a problem of ideology, or these candidates following the existing ideology? Because that appears to be a blurred line we've not yet really assessed.
Well, most of the parties don't have ideology. They have constitutions. They may not have rules, but there's no ethos. Nothing has been imbibed. There's no ideology that drives your passion. There's no ideology that drives your loyalty. These things are, ideologies transcend constitutional rules. Ideology is to get the person's soul. Ideology is to convert all the person's mentality, logic, and everything to conform with your belief system. So for Nigeria, political parties are mere structures, platforms that people use to, so it's not like America where, traditionally this town or this family, like the Kennedys, you cannot hear Kennedy going to Republican. It will be like a taboo. They are Democrats. You can see the Bush or the Cheney family and all those people. Those ones are Republican. So you will now know even towns, even media houses that you will see people who are openly Democrat, people who are openly Republican. And so these are deep-rooted. But here it's not like that. So rather, what Nigerians are following now are not political party structure. They're actually the individuals. So that is why when an individual is popular, like the Kwakwanso we are talking about, I mean, he was in APC once, he was in PDP once, he formed his own party, and he's trying to move. You can see his group, Kwakwanso movement, moving with him. So people who have followership, that is how they are. They are built on that. They always said, even the obedience that were so popular, Labour, before, an obedience is ready to shoot your head if you talk about Labour. Now, go to all the platforms now, most of the WhatsApp groups. They are already sharing, join the WhatsApp group for ADC, all these things. So it is understandable. Now that is why when people start quarreling in an election and losing friends and family, I start laughing at them, because these are just mere platforms for winning. So know the individual you support, move the platform, canvas for persuade, don't create enemies. So what we have now for Atiku is basically this crisis in PDP, right. This Iwuanyanwu statement. That is what is causing this particular. Because if, for example, there is no crisis, if you just ended the 2023 election issues, angers about primaries and the rest. Well, that would have been good. But if they didn't start this thing, this Iwuanyanwu's case, would have been, I don't think Atiku would have left. I don't think people would have been in this serious trouble.
All right, Dr. Ambrose, we're going to come right back to you. But first, let's take this quick breather. When the monitor returns, we'll continue with a very interesting question for Dr. Ambrose. Stay tuned. Back to the program is still the Afia Morning Show, and Dr. Ambrose Igboke is still here. We're still looking at headlines this morning. Dr. Ambrose, now the question I have for you is, why does it appear that the ticket, the seat, that presidential seat is always like tomorrow, always a day away for ex-VP Atiku Abubakar? Why can't he clinch it? What is the challenge?
Well, Atiku Abubakar is an old horse in the political mainstream Nigeria. He's a protege of I think Shehu is the senior one, Shehu Yaradua. He has been there even in the 90s. I think in the election of Abiola, he participated in the primaries. So they later transformed to a movement called the PDM, People's Democratic Movement. And together with the G34 by-election, they formed the PDP. So it was a nucleus of the foundation of PDP. And he already even won the ticket to become governor of Adamawa State in 1999. And then they said, oh, come and be the VP to Olusegun Obasanjo. And that is how. So he has been an astute politician. And there are rumors had it that, they had a plan that, when he's south, after Obasanjo does his 8 years, Atiku was supposed to get his. But also there was grapevine that in the convention of towards the 2003 election, that the governors wanted him to be president, and he always secured all the votes, and that some begging was done, and then he was asked to step down. And there's a joke about if you put a gun on a general's head, if you don't pull the trigger, you live to regret it. And I think that's what is happening. And they refused to give him the tickets. He went to another party. Of course, they were not strong enough. He came back. When he sees that there were signs not to give it to him, he comes back. And there were the last election was the height of it. For an Atiku to even dare to contest the election when it was an 8 year for a northerner finishing 8 years, and he now went in, it's not a good thing to do. So there's some elements of desperation in that. But I will say that it is right to want to contest as many times as possible. After all, they used to give us examples of Abraham Lincoln, that how many times he contested the election and failed. And he won the contestant for president, he won. So basically, but one may ask, what is the role of Atiku Abubakar in this coalition?
Right.
If he wants to insist that we'll become presidential flag bearer for ADC, then ADC will be dead on arrival, because nobody from the south and even sympathizers from the north will agree to that, because the south should have his 8 years.
Do you see him spoiling this formation? Because the way everything is going right now, it seems that Atiku Abubakar is about to repeat the same mistake, because yes, they were like, the primary is going to be thrown open. Right, and you know how Atiku Abubakar does his primaries.
It's going to be blind. If it's thrown open, it should be thrown open to only candidates from the south. Not anybody from the north should not contest the presidential ticket of the ADC. Because that will mean that you are taking the south for granted. Power rotates between north and south in Nigeria. And each region is supposed to do 8 years. So it doesn't mean whether the same person will do it, but each region was supposed to be 8 years. So the North just had its 8 years, which is 2015 to 2023. So the South entered. It's an unwritten convention and practice, okay? So the South is supposed to do its 8 years. So the best bet for the coalition is to get a Southern candidate. And that is why we have been hearing people say, I will do one term, I will do one term. It's the idea of getting Southern candidates to do one term. But again, that is dangerous, because precedents have shown that it's a dangerous gamble. I don't think they want to do that, because when Yaradua died and a Southerner entered as acting capacity for 2 years to finish. The North wanted to come back and say, okay, it's their turn, rightfully. But there was a kind of pleading and consensus and all that kind was reached. And the acting president was, okay, do a substantive term so that history will be kind to you.
That's right.
Only for him to finish, I wanted to do a second term to make it like 10 years. And that is why even when everybody now, even Obasanjo, who is his godfather, everybody went against him. So if somebody has behaved that way, who had 6 years, still wanted more 4 years, how much more somebody who just had 4 years? So these are the issues, that will come up. But if an Atiku Abubakar still says he wants to contest for the presidential ticket of ADC, then everybody from southern Nigeria should ditch the party.
Solve this.
Sorry, let me comment there now. And I have to ask you this very pointed question. And I want you to be very personal about it. I want your opinion. Do you agree with Oyo State's governor, Seyi Makinde, that Atiku's exit from the PDP means nothing? Second question, do you think that Atiku Abubakar has been holding the PDP down for a very long time? Do you agree with those assertions? Yes or no?
Well, for me, it is not true because the PDP's crisis, for example, is it Atiku that said that national chairman should not adopt what the Southeast Caucus said? We had it on good authority that when it was 2023 primaries, that Atiku said if the ticket will be microzoned to the Southeast, that he won't contest the primaries. But it was thrown open because somebody from South wanted to contest. Why South has had it for 6 years. So when you speak like this, it shows that you're also playing the ostrich because you cannot blame one man for the PDP. But it was a convolution of anomalies that put the PDP where it is today.
So that's your answer to one question, that you don't think he's holding the party down.
Well, no one man can. The people holding the party down, they know where they are. So Makinde knows where they are, and then he should go there. And the people holding the party, they are his friends.
Second question: does his exit mean nothing to PDP?
How can you say the exit of a former president, vice president, and the foundation member of PDP means nothing to PDP? These are playing the ostrich. These are heavy political statements that should not be made by this time. People who rather you should find ways for women to make your people live. Okowa, former governor, and the current governor of the Delta State left. It means nothing. Governor left. It means nothing. Governor Adeleke is at the verge of leaving. So if all these people that hold the party are leaving, I say it means nothing, then that means the party is nothing.
Another line. Oji, go ahead.
The demise of the late president, Muhammadu Buhari, would that make Atiku Abubakar one of the strongest politicians now in the North, regarding how revered Buhari was, right, and the court followership? Are that transferable? Are those court followership going to follow now Atiku, making him that leader from the northern extract? Then another question I want to ask you is, try and solve this problem for us, right? If Peter Obi becomes the president, as he said he wants to do one time, and maybe after the 4 years, people saw how progressive the nation became under his administration, and asked for that encore, a comeback. That gentleman agreement is not in our constitution of rotate to south 8 years and rotate to north 8 years. Would you see it deterred?
Well, first of all, you cannot transfer a goodwill. Goodwill is earned. It's not cashed. So a goodwill created over the years to get court followership cannot be transferred to third parties. Now, even when Buhari was alive over the years, we had strong politicians from the north. One of them is that's why we have been mentioning his name, Kwankwaso. He had his own movement. So he's a strong factor. He also has that. He enjoys that cultic followership as well. Okay, Atiku Abubakar, you cannot take it whether you like him or hate him. It's a problem, but he has very strong roots, both in the north and in the south. So he's a very strong force in politics in the north. in Nigeria generally.
All right.
Then Buhari was always just in the north until he confirmed an alliance. But Atiku is both in the north and the south. So it's very, very strong. But both of them are strong in their own ways. But Buhari is Buhari, and then goodwill is not transferable.
Now that's right. Let's take this headline quickly from Daily Sun before we let you go. This is a major one, and it's away from Atiku's politics. Calls for new constitution reverberate yet again. People are saying that the Nigerian constitution needs more than just amendments. It needs to be thoroughly, totally overhauled. A brand new constitution needs to be created that resonates with the people whom it governs. What do you make of the renewed calls for a brand new constitution of Nigeria?
The current constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria was basically crafted by few individuals who were appointed by military head of states to just do it. They were in a hurry to leave, and they had to do something. So there are a lot of flaws in the constitution. Plenty, and that's why I'm giving supreme. That's why a lot of imagine a constitution that leaves out what happens that could not even describe what tenure of a governor is. Our constitution didn't have that. It was the Supreme Court, the first time that said it is on the day you are sworn in that your tenure starts counting. Our constitution did not say that. So there's a lot. What President Iwuanyanwu died after he has won the election and was not sworn in. The constitution has no space for those kind of things. So you can say that a lot of them thinking was not put into place for exigencies that may happen in future. So, and over the last 26 years of democracy, we've been trying to make Supreme Court proclamations, attend, and then it is very difficult to say you want a brand new constitution. The political will may not be able to carry it because you need the concurrence of the 36 houses of assembly, then the National Assembly. So, and we know we are very different people. And so every shades of interest may not be able to have you have a new constitution. But the piecemeal approach that we are doing is also working gradually. Like the Electoral Act, some of the things that are going, we are talking about autonomy of the fiscal autonomy of the local government. We are trying to so that the national will conduct elections. We are trying to remove whether the states electoral commissions and a lot. So we can gradually do that while we look forward to the bigger picture one day.
All right, okay.
Okay, well, it's 9 already.
It's 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
All right, I think we've already run out of time. Thank you, Dr. Ambrose, for joining the show today and dropping your valid comment. Of course, this conversation will continue and we'll look at more headlines on the different days. Thank you once again.
Thank you for having me.
Now, when the morning show returns, we're joined by the CEO, founder, Landmark Africa Group, Mr. Paul Iwuanyanwu, as we assess developments so far with the Enugu Nike Lake Resort. The morning show returns in just seconds. Stay tuned.